Yeah, those are the risk management thing. You want to make sure that your bet is small. You want to make sure that you know how much you're going to lose. Like you don't think about how much you're going to get. You can think of how much you're going to lose, and you think of what's your time horizon. So a lot of people they don't know the time frame for their bet. They don't really understand. So for example, when you're playing poker, you're trying to play long enough in order to get the right setup. But when the right setup happens, then you go as much as you can. You lean into that bet. So you have to have a time horizon. If you go, I'm going to play 3 hands or 10 hands or 50 hands, how long you're going to be there affects how you're going to place your bets. It's a very hard thing to do, but as soon as you give yourself the time horizon and what you think what you can lose and what do you think the payout can be, all of a sudden the size of your bet and how you should place the bet and all that becomes a lot clearer.
You stated it, the second one you stated it this way. I thought it was really good. I'll bring it up here. Never borrow. I couldn't read my handwriting before, but never borrow. Bet small, never borrow, and time horizons. Is that the same thing as the not losing part?
Actually, that's yes, to know how much you're going to lose, because you'll borrow either naked shorts or you'll deal with margin calls and all that sort of thing. Those people who do that, especially new to the markets, they don't actually know how much they might lose. They're borrowing because they really want to be there because they think the bet's going to go well. I mean, if you thought there was a reasonable chance that the bet would go against you, you wouldn't borrow 3 times more than what you have.
That's right.
Like you wouldn't do that unless you're crazy. You wouldn't do that. So the only time you really see amateurs do that is when they're really oversized in their position. So no borrow is the same thing as know how much you're going to lose. But as a general rule in the stock market, don't borrow anything. Someone might go, but I only have $100, I only have $500, I really want to make a lot. Freaking don't. Oh, but I can't buy a stock of Tesla. Tesla's $800, I only have $500. I got to borrow in order to don't borrow anything. There is always 100% another opportunity where the amount of money that you have, even if it's $50, might actually yield you something good. But never borrow a penny, ever.
Because if you win, then you'll be happy.
I'm not saying that as an exaggeration. I'm saying do not ever do it. I don't know, sometimes do it. Moderation and everything is moderation. No, do not ever do it.
I think what you mean to say is don't ever borrow. I'm not sure if you made it clear enough. I don't know if
I think you're picking up on it.
Yeah, because if it goes your way, then great. But if it doesn't go your way, you're out of the game, and that's rule number 1, right? Don't lose. Don't come out of the game. As long as you're in the game, then you can move forward. So don't let greed or FOMO or the lack of impulse control be the victim of. And if you have problems with that, maybe don't trade. Maybe don't get into the market. Maybe that's not your thing. Or do set it and forget it type of thing. Some good advice here, Tom. Bet small, never borrow, time horizons. I think that's a mindset. It's a mindset way of looking at things, but it really is practical, right? It's a really practical advice for dealing with the financial markets. Probably dealing with sort of finances just in general, right? Just don't.
That's right.
Apply these principles.
Well, let's say if you have 100% of something of your money, and then you do a bad bet and you lose 50% of it. Right? This is not even just going bankrupt. You lose 50% of it. You're going to double your money to get back to even. So why ever put yourself in that situation? Yep. Give yourself smaller bets that's over time give you money. Because if you make a wrong decision, which you definitely 100% will do at some point, why set yourself back so far? I mean, you're looking into the eyes of someone who's made that mistake. Do not make that mistake.
Oh, Tom. Oh, thank you. We all get we get to learn from your mistake. Tom, I kind of feel like you're saying, like, I listened to scientists and astrophysicists, and they're like, it's not a matter of if an asteroid is going to impact Earth. It's a matter of when an asteroid is going to impact Earth. We've got to build up our defenses. And this is a type of safeguards I think are very important. Crisis, cataclysm, extinction level event will occur to you. And so that's what you want to mitigate against, not how victorious you're going to be and how this person made more money than you and how the shame you feel relative to that. You know, if you make $1 million instead of making 100 million, that's better than you zeroing out.
That's exactly right.
Perfect. I love that. Hey there, folks. Oh, hope you had a good time here today. Hope you enjoyed learning. I really like learning. Look, you might be the type of person who's like, I don't really care about finance. I don't care about stocks. You should. I mean, a huge part of our system depends on it. And if you want to understand politics, if you want to understand education, if you want to understand healthcare, if you want to understand things, you got to understand how money flows. And so I think it's very important, which is why I included it in the show, which is why we included it in Jumpstart.